The question is, what is food? We talked about the implications of knowing where the food comes from, but what do you think, and if you were to think about food and the way you consume it, like what is food for you? Culture. Culture? So there's culture. What else would you say food is for you?
It's also about social justice.
Social justice? Okay.
It's because if the local farmers or the local producers not given a chance, they won't have the right market, and then the poverty and related issues.
Interesting.
And less jobs locally.
Locally. Okay. Yes.
Comfort.
Comfort. Yes. Comfort. Yes. Culture, comfort, social justice, nutrition. Right? It's more than, I guess that's the word I was looking for. It's more than just nutrition, right? Food's more than just nutrition. Anything else you might think of?
It is community.
It is community.
You said the farmers making their own community, working with people who want to support farmers. You build a network of people that work together.
Yes, yes, yes.
I think along with nutrition, soil health is really important so that nutrition is
Good
sustainable.
point. Good point. So you start to be concerned, you start to pay attention to the food and what it grows, right? The type of soil that it grows in, and the local people, their jobs. So food's more than nutrition. Excellent. That's the word. Excellent. So these are, I guess, are very legit ways of looking at food. I guess I looked at curriculum document. You find tons of examples for food. The same thing I did in my biology class I'm teaching right now is I tried to tie a food into obesity, which is a very current topic. And if you go to the high school science curriculum, you'll find it mentioned once, obesity as a possible topic. The elementary, some of you might be in the elementary stream. There's no references whatsoever to obesity, but that doesn't mean we cannot do anything about it. So food is also about behavior and how people eat. She mentioned in the movie, for example, that lettuce tastes great within 10 minutes that it's harvested. And I've never had lettuce that fresh. And it got me thinking, well, maybe it does taste different. So I thought that would be a way of connecting it with the curriculum, would be through obesity, for example, and how much people are eating local food and how much that helps with keeping a healthy lifestyle or a healthy diet. These are other directions you can take when talking about obesity, and they're all related with food and local food especially. I mean, there's so many. You can just briefly browse the mind map. You see there are financial aspects to obesity and food, and we talked about some of the social, education, health, and it's quite the picture. See, it's very common these days. Someone sitting in front of the TV, playing video games, or watching a movie. So there's a personal experience with food that we all share, right? Whether it's comfort food or it's family. I like that she brought family into everything. It's a family event. It's more than nutrition. We have an emotional, therefore we do have an emotional tie with food as well. It means something when you're hungry. It means you can actually, people get sometimes angry, sometimes bitter because they're hungry. You've seen the commercial, right? Where someone is probably angry and then eats this chocolate and then changes. Oh, yeah. What is it called? Snickers. So you're not yourself when you're hungry. So there's an emotional tie. We have an emotional tie with food. So again, it's more than just nutrition. But there are challenges. Like if you want people to start consuming locally or consuming local food, there are challenges. And I've mentioned just a few of them. Well, I'll give you an example. My daughter loves strawberries, but I know we cannot have strawberries well, we can have strawberries all year round, but they come with a cost, right? So for example, the strawberries that we recently bought, they come from California, which is 5,000 kilometers away. So I know and I understand that this is all about understanding the impact of our choices. I understand, even though I bought the strawberries, I understand the environmental impact that buying those strawberries, my decision of buying them has on the environment. They're only available in Canada during the summertime, June, July mostly. And there's this PowerPoint will be available online. So if you go to this link here, there is a harvest calendar. So you can check what months of the year certain foods are available in Canada. And based on that calendar, strawberries are mostly available throughout June and July. So, but I have strawberries like 2 weeks ago, and not really thinking about the environmental cost. But now I might want to go back, might talk to my daughter about what it takes to have strawberries in January in Canada, and maybe not force her into not having them, but maybe ask her to make a more informed decision from now on, which would require her to change some of her dietary habits, make them more seasonal. Let's eat what is available to us. Let's eat what's less environmentally costly. So those would be some of the challenges, because it would require us to really act. It's easy just to come and talk. It's a different thing when you have to act. So it would require me to become conscious and change. I love strawberries. Instead of having them every week, I would have them every 2 weeks. I don't know. Just reduce the frequency that you buy them, which is another way of lessening the impact of your actions. And I have the mango here also as an example. Apparently, you can grow certain types of mango in Canada, but the ones I have at home right now, and I checked the label, the little sticker, they come from Ecuador. So there's a huge environmental cost associated to buying those mangoes here. But my kids, they love it. So we got to do something and maybe introduce different types of food into their diet would be one way of acting upon that knowledge that I now have. Can you think of other challenges? I can think of other challenges. I just didn't want to put them all there. But can you think of other challenges that exist if you decide to consume locally or consume local food, like fresh food? What would be some of the other challenges that you have to keep in mind?
You have to know where to get it.
You have to know where to get it, and how can you get to know where to get it? Markets. You ask people, right, to check websites. I saw this ad, and I'll show you on the bus coming to campus. So you need to know where to get it. That would be a challenge. Yes?
Sometimes, not always, but it costs more?
It costs more, yeah.
Not always, but...
No, yeah, not always, yes.
There's also the fact that we live in Canada and that there are that many fruits available in Canada for most of the year, and it gets even worse for First Nations people who live like northern Ontario or northern Quebec. Then it becomes almost impossible to find fruits at any time of the year.
I agree.